I'm going to go over the Bonegrinder Gargant that you get from Forgeworld. There aren't a lot of videos out there on YouTube about what you get, just a few out there about painting. So we're going to check out what's in the bag. I'm going to put it together and see what this guy looks like all complete. So let's get started. I'm just checking out the pieces. Most of the giant's in one piece as far as the head, torso, and legs. Right here I'm checking out the base. It's got a little destroyed wall on it. Add a little flair to it. Then right here we've got the right arm. That one just really basic. Got his hand kind of sticking out like he's maybe balancing himself. And then we've got the part that attaches to his club. It's like a flail. It's like a big heavy weight that's on the end, and that part's kind of fragile. You want to be careful. I actually ended up breaking it, but you'll see my fix for that. And then we'll check out the left arm. This is the arm that is holding the part of the flail that you'll attach the other little weight piece to. I highly recommend you read through this insert they give you. It talks about safely working with resin kits, and then it also gives you some little tips, hints, and tricks about how to properly prepare it to be painted and things like that. So definitely read through this. So right here I am essentially just washing the mold release oils off of the different pieces, because if you don't do a good job on that when you go to prime it, your primer may not stick correctly, so you want to make sure you're really thorough on that, and then just make sure you let those dry. Here you see all the parts. I'm just kind of checking it out. You can see there's a big mold line across the leg. I'm going to want to get rid of that, probably scrape it off, sand it off, but it's not that bad. The rest of the giant didn't really have anything else on him, so I'm just going to go ahead and start working on taking off the blocks that they're attached to when they're poured, and go from there. So I use my, or I should say try to use my plastic sprue clippers. You can do that for some of the resin kits, but some of the parts are actually a little too thick, as I kind of find out here. You'll see I soon switched from using my plastic clippers to this hobby saw, which is a lot more adept at cutting through the resin kits. You'll see me dip my finger in water and put it on the piece I'm about to cut. That way the dust from the resin doesn't kick up and it kind of cakes down and holds it there. You'll kind of see me do that throughout this video when I'm cleaning it. But I go ahead and get these posts off. I take off that main block part, and then with the little nubs that are left over, I just take my regular hobby knife and clean that up a little bit. You'll notice throughout the model that some of the details have these little posts that are in them, and that's just supports for the model, but you're going to definitely want to go through and scope it out and take those off. There was one under those skulls on his necklace, the little bag on his waist, and the kegs of ale, and one of the shields that he has as armor. But you just go in, clip them off with your clippers, or use the hobby knife to take them out. Being such a big model, I did decide to pin it. So I pulled out my Dremel, drilled some holes in there, fit in the different wire that I wanted, and I kind of picked this trick up when I was working at GW back in the day. Once you have the one side pinned, you can dip it into a paint of your choice, doesn't matter, just something that you can easily see. And then when you line up the part to the main model, you just push it against it, and then that's going to leave yourself a mark so you know where to drill the other side, which is pretty much what I'm doing right here. So I was happy with the pins, everything worked out great, so I just applied my super glue, which is what I mainly use to put together the resin kits, and did the first arm, set them down, let them dry, and then I basically just do the same exact thing for the left arm. So right here I'm just dry fitting him to the base. He doesn't fit really well. I did have to green stuff a little, some of the gaps on there. And it's really weird because the base that he's mounted to is square, it's like, or rectangular, but the base they give you is an oval. So I came up with an idea of cutting out some corkboard and fitting it on top. Then using the square base, the rectangle base they sent me, I cut out the sides that were not being covered, then went ahead and glued down the rectangle base onto the oval base, and then used the other parts that I cut off of the corkboard to fill in the empty space. I then pinned him onto the base as well. I added a little filler corkboard there too, so he would have more contacts for when I super glued him. And since there were gaps between the rectangle base he comes with and the base I made, I essentially just filled them in with super glue and then lay in a mix of sand and rocks that I used to do the basing on my different models. So the flail piece that broke, it was the connector. So what I ended up doing was just taking some green stuff and shoving it into there and into the hole on the flail, and using this chain and pushing it in and coming up with something like this so that I can just connect it. And then you just I cleaned up the base, any of the overhang, and he was done. So yeah guys, that's pretty much it for the video. It was super fun putting him together, a little frustrating at times, but I mean, that's, you know, that comes with the hobby, I think. I guess comment below, let me know if you guys want to see a video of him being painted up, and let me know if you want to see a video of the other things that I got inside the Forgeworld order I did. So thanks again for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next one.